Hi guys, thank you for joining me today on the Brio Tribe. My name is Sasha Wright, and today we're going to be talking about budgeting. Fun topic, right? Maybe, yeah, can be. All right. So if you're one of those persons who feel very overwhelmed when you come on to budgeting, if you feel like you're not spending within like your set budget, or you're just spending too much money and you're just not in control of like your monthly expense, or you just feel overwhelmed and want to find like an easier method, then this is the video for you. So stick around as we dive into it. So remember to like, subscribe. All right, so let's get into it. It's important to track your expense, because tracking your expense, then you'll know how much money you're spending, how much money you're saving, where you're spending your money, and it just helps you to keep in alignment with your finance. There's many different ways that you can budget. It depends on your situation, and kind of where you live as well has a great impact on that. For example, I tried using the envelope system. If you've never heard of the envelope system, it's basically having different envelopes, or you can use a money book. I don't know what this is called. Envelope book, I don't know. But the whole idea is that you have different sections that you allocate. So for example, you have grocery, and you put the amount of money you expect to spend that month on grocery in here. And you have transportation, so the amount of money that you expect to spend on transportation for that month, you put it here, and so forth. But the problem with this, I tried it for a month and it didn't really work because I don't use cash. I live in Canada right now, and majority of my expenses are cashless. Like everything is either paid online or paid by debit or credit. Especially since the virus started, we've gone more to like a cashless system. So this did not work for me. I was like pulling out money from the bank, going to stores, but still using my debit card because it's just an easier transaction that way. But if you live in a country where you mostly use cash, then I think it's a great option, because then once you're tapped out of food money, then you're gonna learn. So that's one method. It didn't work for me, but possibly it can work for you. What I do is I track my expenses in Excel. So we're gonna go through that today. I'm gonna take you through my Excel that I use. I'll put that link in the description box that you can use to customize to your lifestyle. So we'll go through that in a bit. But I also want to talk about this Japanese method of budgeting, Kakeibo. Hope I said that right. So basically with this method is, at the beginning of the month, you'd write down your fixed expenses like your rent, your mortgage, or any other bills. And then you also write down how much money you expected to be paid that month. And after setting that, then throughout the month, you'll track everything that you spend and that you save, and you'll write it. So the idea is that you carry a pocketbook, and if you spend say $10 on orange today, then you write $10 orange, or you write under the category grocery $10, and so forth. At the end of the month, you'll calculate how much money you've spent, how much money you've saved based on the different categories that you have, and then you'll assess how bad or how good you did for that month. So the Excel file that I'll take you through, it's pretty similar. So for me, just using this method has really helped me, whereas because I am going through my bank statement and I'm tracking every single dollar that I spend, it makes me nervous to spend on useless things or wants, because I know at the end of the week I'm going to be sitting there and I'm going to look and be like, okay, I spent $10 on donuts. Like, I did not need to do that, and I'm gonna judge myself. So it has really been like helpful to keep me in line. So with this file I'm gonna take you through, I do this weekly. On a Monday, I'll sit down for 15 minutes. I'll go through my bank statements and I'll record every dollar that I spent, every dollar that I got. And I'll do that every week. 15 minutes, I'd say. So by the end of the month, it's easy. I know how much money I've spent, I know how much money I've made, and because I track it on a yearly base, I can have a good overview of how much I'm spending and where I need to cut money. So let's hop over to my computer and we'll go through that. Okay, guys, so this is my annual budget, and I have tweaked it a bit to make it a bit more generic. And I've also removed the values just to make it simple and so that I can work through examples as we go. So I like to have a quarterly total in mind just so that after every 3 months I can see how much I've spent, and it also gives me opportunity, so every 6 months I can compare to see how I've been doing. So after March, I'll sit down and I'll look and see how much I've spent for the past 3 months, and the same goes for June. After these 3 months, I'll sit down and oh, there we go. Yeah, I'll sit down and figure out, like how I've been doing. And then at the end of the year, I'll have a total, so I know how much money I spent on rent, how much money I spent on grocery for the year, and all that good jazz. So another highlight for this Excel is that I split it up in expenses, and under my expenses I have home, so like my rent, my phone bill, my internet bill, laundry, all that good jazz. You can change it however you see fit. Transportation, I don't drive, so I have that luxury of not paying insurance. I don't have to factor in gas and all that, but you can add columns as you need them or add rows as you need them rather. Um, yeah, so for daily living, so this one, it's a bit tricky, I would say, depending on where you are and how you shop. So for example, I have grocery as a separate subsection, but if it is that you get your cleaning products the same place that you get your grocery, you get your personal product the same place you get your grocery, instead of having like all these different tabs, then you could have like a store tab. So for example, if you go to Walmart, you buy your clothing there, you buy your food there, you get all your electronics there. Instead of having like all these separate tabs, you could have just like Walmart or Target or wherever you go. So let's say for this month you had to get new school stuff for your kids or new clothing for yourself, right? So you spent $1,000 and you spent $200 in Walmart this month, and you spend $250 this month. Then at the end of the 3 months, you're looking and you're like, whoa, that's a lot of money. And then you're wondering, $1,000, what did I do? Instead of trying to go back and digging up receipt and all that, you can just add a comment to say, bought new clothing. So at the end, when you're looking back, you can just see that, okay, you know what, I spent money on clothes here, and that's why my value is so high. But for me, I shop separately, so I don't necessarily need to do that. I have like a separate clothing section here, even though I hardly buy clothes. But yeah, so that's just another option on how you can tweak to fit you, especially if you have a large family. For me, it's just me, so it's a bit easier. So entertainment, I haven't done anything much in this section lately, but as summer comes, then I'll probably be doing more. I have a gift section that I think it's important for me because like that's how I show my gratitude. I like to buy gifts for my friends and family on their birthdays, just to make them feel a little bit special. So I factor that in under entertainment because it's not a must. It's like it's a want. It's something that if I don't have the money, I'm not going to do it. But so I just factor that onto entertainment because this whole section, it's not a need for me. Like I can entertain myself at home. I don't have to do anything outside, but it's it's a sacrifice that I make and a little treat, I guess. So that's why I have gifts under entertainment. Because if I'm broke, then you ain't getting nothing from me. Just saying. All right. So the next one is saving, and of course, saving goes on the expense because you're taking it from your salary, right? So my savings look a little bit different because I do have my emergency fund. I don't have a savings account really. Actually I do have a savings account in Jamaica, but that is also sort of an emergency fund for me because if I have to go back home, then I know I can get up and go tomorrow and I don't have to worry about going to a cambio or doing exchange because I have an account there with money ready to use. But that's kind of like I kind of check that in under my emergency fund. But I also have like a trading account, a crypto account. So all that I put under my savings. My investment account is how I pay myself. So remember I talked about paying yourself. How I pay myself, I put it into an investment account. So that I keep track of as well. And vacation, I like to have that in just because like I like to travel, even if it's just like within Canada, like even just going to another province or going somewhere for the weekend. So it's good for me to keep track of like whatever I spend, even if like I am just doing a road trip, I have to eat. If I didn't bring food and I bought food, then I keep track of it, keep track of everything. All right, so then I have my income and my cash flow. So I get paid bi-weekly and the amount changes. So I record separately. And sometimes I'll get paid from Amazon for my books. I'll put that in the description in case you want to go support your girl. And yeah, so whatever other source of income or cash flow that you have, you can put it under here. And then saving and investment. So this section is very important to me. Like I like to see where I stand at the end of the month. So at the end of every month, I check to see how much I have in my trading account. Am I in the loss? Am I in the win? I like to check how much I have in my emergency fund in case, I had to use anything or, see how much I'm growing. So at the end of each month, I put these values here. And again, I can compare to see, say, especially with my investment account, I can watch as my investments grow over through the following months. And yeah, so if you have assets as well, you can add it, and then that's a good way to see how your value is increasing. Okay, so network, this is it's important. A lot of time we budget, we don't think of checking on our value, our network, how much, like how far are we from retirement? Like we need to check on that. So with this Excel, it automatically does everything. So okay, so say for this month we spent $1,000 on our bills. In savings, we also spent $1,000. So let's say we made $2,000. So at the end, we can say, okay, we saved $1,000, so we'll put that into our investment account. Let's say that's where we put it. So at the end, it tells me how much I'm worth. So it takes my income, which is this column here, and my expense, which is the above column, and it calculates how much I'm worth. So I know for January, my net worth is $1,000. And let's say as the months progress on, it increases. So, I can check, and at the end of the year, I'll have a good idea of how much I'm worth. So, yeah, this is the file that I use, and yeah, I'll put it in the description and you can go check it out. If you use it, comment and let me know what you think. So I hope you guys were able to take away something from this video. If you have a different method that you've been trying and it has been working for you, to the comment section, let's talk about it. Let's help each other grow. So the link for the Excel, it's in the description box. feel free to use it, change it around how it suits your lifestyle. And yeah, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you in the next video.